To win the war on drugs, New Zealand has made synthetic highs legal and opened the door to include marijuana and ecstasy. So, how is the radical law working? Dr. Andrew Rochford has this special report.
As long as civilization has existed, people have used drugs, and we're kidding ourselves if we think that prohibition's really going to be the answer.
The Kiwis have just said no to the war on drugs.
I could definitely recommend Puff Super Strength. That one's 2.5 grams is $20, so we can get 7 grams for $50.
One try hard, please.
Yep, please check your ID, please.
A smorgasbord of synthetic highs mimicking marijuana, cocaine and ecstasy, and they're all totally legal.
There's the menu, all the different types.
For the first time, you can buy recreational drugs and you can know that it's been tested, you can know what's in it, you can know the strength of it, you can know that, it's going to be the same strength every time you have it.
You can take away one of the biggest revenue sources that organised crime has, and you can tax it, and you can regulate it, and you can make it as safe as possible.
They call me the godfather of legal highs.
Kiwi rocker Matt Bowden is an unlikely political reformer, but he's the driver behind the legal drug laws here.
I had a cousin who died after taking too much ecstasy, and another friend killed himself using a samurai sword on methamphetamine.
Matt invented synthetic drugs 15 years ago to give users their high without killing them. A simple molecule he found in research medicines opened a new world of mind-altering substances.
Which would give people some of that high without addiction, without the likelihood of them dying if they took too much, and without brain damage or damage to other organs in the body. For 8.5 years, 26 million pills were consumed by 400,000 consumers on 10.5 million occasions when there were no deaths as a result of consuming those products and no lasting injuries.
But the invention was soon in the hands of global crime gangs, forming a multi-billion-dollar industry using untested cowboy chemicals.
Each new product that came onto the market was a little bit stronger and went to a wider audience.
And then the mutant synthetics hit us.
Earlier this week, student Henry Kwan plunged to his death. It's a lucrative $700 million industry.
These products are now a banned substance.
Detective Superintendent Nick Bingham leads the New South Wales drug squad into battle. His weapon is prohibition.
You'll notice they haven't got any buds or heads on them, so they're not ready to pick, but we'll be picking them for them.
But while the police tear up giant fields of pot in northern New South Wales, synthetic cannabis and its stimulant friends are still crossing our coasts.
Most of these sales are now happening online, and that's very, very difficult to police. We can't sit in everyone's lounge room with them. We can't look at the teenage kid on their tablet, iPhone, smartphone, ordering these things online.
In New Zealand, a team of medical and legal experts told the government that prohibition would never work. All but one Kiwi politician voted to sell synthetic highs that were tested for safety in government labs. The door is open for them to legalise ordinary cannabis next.
The reports from the emergency departments are that fewer young people are experiencing harmful effects from legal highs, and that's because our legislation has allowed us to get the harmful stuff off the shelf.
If you've got some Nurofen in your cabinet at home in the bathroom, that product's been tested to a standard very similar to the standard that's been required of these products.
Grant Hall represents the makers and sellers of legal drugs.
It's really interesting that the Australian Federal Police are looking at New Zealand very, very closely, wondering if this is an option that they should be considering.
In suburban Auckland, a government-licensed plant packs up synthetic pot to ship all over the country.
In New Zealand, we can design, research and manufacture safer alternatives to alcohol and the other drugs, and then export them to the rest of the world. Maybe Australia could do the same.
Watch what's happening here. Watch what happens over the next couple of years, and if what you see is positive, be brave enough to follow our lead.
As I walk along, it's the Kiwis again. They sound funny, but they're incredibly sensible. Good on New Zealand.
And almost every single politician got behind it. Fascinating. Going to take a break. Back soon.